Hey everyone, so wonderful to see you again. Hope you're all doing great. It's Judy from Coffee Cookies and Books, and what we're going to do today is part one of my quarterly book haul. All right, so as I did before, I'm actually going to split this just into two parts. Although it is going to make it a tiny bit longer. I just don't have a lot of cozy mystery, that sort of thing. So I kind of split it between like romance, fantasy, romantasy. That's going to be the next video. This video is going to be all basically thrillers. If there's anything cozy, it's going to go in there, and anything that I think is thriller, mystery, crime, horror adjacent is in here as well. And you'll understand that when you see a couple of the books that I do have to show you. Now, the last book haul that I did was in November of last year. So it's actually been a little more than a quarter, because we're almost through March already as of today that I'm filming this. So I've got a ton to share in this video. I am going to skim through some of it. There's just a few things that I'm just going to quickly point out that I wanted to mention. Now, one thing that I did want to mention is I get a lot of my books from essentially three different places. Book of the Month, Artvark, and Book Outlet. Now, Book of the Month and Artvark are subscription services. So basically you pay like a full price, which is around about $25, $30 for one credit. And then you get the rest of your books at a discounted price. And I would say it's about half the price of what a normal hardback would cost you. So when you factor it all out, typically the most you pay per book, even if you only got like one, would probably be about 20 bucks a book. The more books you get, the cheaper it is per book. So that's how those work. And if you don't want anything from that month's selection, you skip to the next month and you don't pay for another credit. So your credit stays on the board and you can use it at any point when you want to. So that's how Book of the Month and Artvark work. I do have links for both. They are in the descriptions below. I'm not sponsored by either of them, but what I do get is I get a credit each time you use my link for Book of the Month. And for Artvark, you just have to tell me that you used it and what you signed up under, and I send that to them and they give me a credit. So they don't have the link system, but they do have like kind of, it's like an affiliate link, and I put that like, but I have to actually tell them that. So that's that one. So the other one is Book Outlet. Now what Book Outlet is Book Outlet is a company that gets books that are leftovers or whatever from the book sellers, huge booksellers, and they sell them off at minimum 50% off and a lot less in a lot of cases. So what you can get now is, especially like when they have their sales in Canada, it's $7.99. I think in the US it's $5.99. When they have those sales, you can get some incredible books, and I have quite a few here to share with you that I got through Book Outlet on their sales. They also have other sales, which I will mention in a minute as well, which I think are really different and unique, and they usually run for a longer period. So we'll talk about that too. For Book Outlet, I don't have anything but an affiliate link. I get 5 points in my system for every time somebody signs up for a membership with them. It's not even a membership. You don't pay a membership, but or you make a purchase through my affiliate link. I think it's something like that. I have no clue. I have it down there. I don't think anybody's ever used it. I have no idea. I know I've had a few people use Book of the Month to sign up for, but anyway, those are all those links are below. They're all fantastic services. You don't even have to give me any credit. You can just log into them from your computer. And I think that they're great. And the majority of the books I buy come from there. So in Canada, we don't have like, what do you call it? Is it Pango? We don't have anything like that. We don't have, we can't use it. It's only for Americans. We don't have Barnes and Noble. And if we want to buy from Barnes and Noble, we have to pay exchange rates and then shipping and on the other. So we don't do that. So we don't have that. We have Indigo books. Indigo is extremely expensive. It's very rare I'll buy a book off Indigo. The only time I've found myself buying a book from Indigo here in Canada is for the cover and binding reasons. That's the only time. So I don't get a lot of books from there. So the majority of my books come from Book Outlet or Amazon. That's just the nature of the beast, and that's how I have to purchase. So for this haul, most of what I've bought have come from Book of the Month, Artvark, and Book Outlet, with a few from Amazon. And that's usually how it builds out for me, especially when I'm going on a quarterly basis, because there's always going to be some sort of sale on Book Outlet, and I've gone through several months of the other two subscription services. So hopefully that's not too confusing for all of you. And so, well, let's get on with what I bought. Okay, so before I get into the actual books themselves, I want to talk about one thing. I'm going to do it real quick. So I have discussed Book Outlet, so that a lot of the books here that I got on the $7.99 sale, so there's actually two of them. There was one that was kind of like at the beginning of December, mid-November to beginning of December. That was the Black Friday sale. So there's some books in here that are from that. And then they again had another $7.99 sale, which I think was in February. So they have that. This, though, is something a little bit different. So what I have here is I have 3 thrillers, okay? Of course, one's paperback and 2 hardbacks. And they have, and one is a new release, okay? And this one is fairly new, which is the 13th or 14th book in the Will Trent series by Karen Slaughter. So you have these two. And then this is a much older book from Lisa Jackson, okay? I got all 3 on Book Outlet for $13. So that's $4.33 a book. Now, I don't know if they have the same sale in the US, but here, this is on until June, beginning of June, and it is they have a lot of thrillers, and it's all under the thriller category, okay? So it's a good opportunity to get thriller authors that maybe you want to try and you haven't tried them before, because you know, well, I mean, I love Karen Slaughter, so that was a no-brainer for me, but I've never read anything from Lisa Jackson, and this was the new one from Reese Witherspoon and Harlan Coben, so I was like, well, I'll grab that because it's brand new, and I didn't have a copy of it. So perfect opportunity to get books, and I mean, 3 for $13 is fabulous. I'd be curious if the offer is exactly the same in the US. I'm assuming it might be a little, like maybe 3 for $10 in the States. So definitely check it out. Again, it's in the fiction thriller category, and it's a very special sale that they have running, and they have it running until June. That's what's happening here in Canada. Okay, and if anybody is curious, Book Outlet is a Canadian company, and Book Outlet is literally about 20 minutes from me. Okay, they're not far. Like when I place an order and it gets shipped, I get it next day. Okay, very fast, and that's because I live close to their location where they ship from. So, yeah. So I love the fact that it's a Canadian company and I get to support a Canadian company. So that's always great. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about everything else other than what I got through Book book of the month in Artvark. I'm going to kind of leave that to the end. Okay, so these books that I picked up are a mishmash. This first one is one that I got based on, it's called Your Favorite Scary Movie by Ashley Collins. And this I saw reviewed by Kayla at Books and Lala. And this is a nonfiction, okay? And it's about, I think, the Scream movies, if I'm not mistaken. It kind of follows a lot of that. So it says it's the ultimate story of the Scream movie franchise, featuring interviews with more than 80 key players and an in-depth exploration of the creation and legacy of the films that revived a dying genre. So that, I loved the sound of it. And, you know, I do like my odd nonfiction, but I like my nonfiction to really have a bit of a weird, my nonfiction choices are all over the place. Like, I like some memoirs, but not all. I like some, you know, stuff like this. And yeah, a little bit of everything. So there you go. So that was why I picked up that one. And like, honestly, can't wait to read it. Really, can't wait to read it. This next one was also a recommendation from a YouTuber, April. Can't remember her channel. I'll find it because I do subscribe, and I will link it below. And this is a series. It's a 3-book series, not very long, pretty short. And it is like an apocalypse zombie sort of one. And I just like, yeah, it's the world was ready to defend against an asteroid of epic proportions, but nobody was ready for what came after. And that's like you can see like the whole zombie thing. And I'm like, oh my God. And she says fantastic. It's a really quick read. Like this first one's only 250 pages. Like I said, there's 3 books in the series. It is, he is a self-published author. So I thought it would be fabulous to support a self-published author. And I just loved the way she talked about the book and how much she loved it and why she loved it. So that was why I grabbed this one. It was in her videos for her top books from 2025. That's how much she liked this. So I was like, I'm on it. Okay. So grab that one. Next one, actually, let me grab these 2. Yeah. These 2, both of these are from Book Outlet. So this is from their $7.99 sale. House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, and Ask for Andrea from Nicole Illy. And this one's got like cute sprayed edges on it, which I thought were really cute. I don't know if that's going to focus or not, but yeah, Dead Women Don't Forget. So I think this is a story about 3 dead women, and their ghosts won't rest. Megan, Bricia, and Sky might be dead, but they're not gone. So like that one. And then this one is What Lies Beneath the Surface Will Always Remain Hidden. So just a couple. This one I'm not too crazy about the format of it. It's like, and let me tell you, it is like tiny, tiny, tiny. So if at some point I can get the hardback on this one, probably will. I do really like the cover of this one though. Yeah. Anyway, so those are 2 that I got from Book Outlet. Then the next ones I did pick up from Amazon. So we'll go through them. There was a sale on Amazon. So I think it might have been during the Prime days. So I took advantage of it and picked up a few books that I wanted. First one is The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier. Really wanted this one. In this skillfully penned tale of murder and cover-up that will keep readers enthralled until the powerful finish. Family secrets and a serial killer from the past converge. So that's this one. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a murder mystery thriller. Yeah. And then I picked up No Exit by Taylor Adams. One of the people that I watch, Carly from the Pastel Bookshelf, I think, is who recommended this one, and she loves it. And so, again, you know, I have been meaning to read something by Taylor Adams. I did get the latest one from Book of the Month, which is going to come up when we talk about those. But yeah, so this is 13 Hours, 4 Strangers, One Missing Child, No Exit. She knows her odds. She'll fight anyway. So that's this one. I thought that sounded really great. Looking forward to reading that one. And you know, I love these, and they're like such quick reads. That's why I love them. And then this one, Bullet Train by Kataro Isaki. Of course, this is not a traditional thriller, okay? And this is probably one that appeals to a lot of men. But when I saw this guy, Phil, I watch him regularly too, and he really liked this book, and I loved the way he talked about it. So then I looked into it. It's 5 assassins on a fast-moving bullet train find out their missions have something in common in this electrifying thriller. And I know this is a movie with Brad Pitt in it, but I have never seen it. So, yeah, I really want to try the book. I thought it sounded fabulous. So, and it's like action-packed. And I like action-packed, okay? The more action, the better. Oh, you know. Okay, then I picked up from Book Outlet, again, okay? Multiple books. Multiple, okay? And we're going to go over these. Yeah, so first one is The Unworthy by Augustina Bastarrica. And this is like, I didn't realize this is like so tiny. It's like a novella. Yeah, it's like just under 200 pages. I had no idea this was so short. And, you know, I would not have bought this full price. Like the price that they wanted for this, it's like $26 for this is what it would have been. And it cost me $7.99. It's like, never pay full price. Never. Oh. Okay. That one. Then I got, this one is 2 books by Stephen Graham Jones. So the first one is A Killer on the Road. Okay. And the second one is The Babysitter Lives. And I love this. And so it's basically, what, 2 250-page books, around about that, in one, which I loved. I thought it was pretty cool. Even like the spine, because it's got the 2 different upside down, you know. And I like that it's kind of like this. So it's like, yeah, confusing, but fun. Anyway, love this. Again, that's another one from Book Outlet. My pile's getting very large. Oh, this one was actually not, so we'll put that there. Okay, another one I got from Book Outlet is Black Widows by Kate Quinn. I have recently kind of caught the Kate Quinn bug. Really liked a book, an arc I read of hers. And I do actually have the book sitting on my shelf because I want to read the finished version of it, which is The Bridesmaid. It was so good. And so, and I do have The Clinic from her. Haven't read it yet. And then I picked up this one. So I think this is one of her older ones, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure. But yeah, so I got that off Book Outlet. I'm going to make a new pile because it's getting really large. Then I managed to pick up The Resurrectionist by A. Ray Dunlop. So another one that Carly from Pastel Bookshelf mentioned is this one. And they have a new one coming out that just sounds freaking awesome, okay? I'm kind of hoping that maybe Artvark or Book Outlet will pick it up, because I could see Artvark picking it up. I think it's called The Dreadfuls, and it centers around Jack the Ripper. Well, that's what this one. So this one talks about you must insist that in the end, this is not a story about death. It's perhaps a life story or even a love story. It's a story of how I clawed my way from the decay of crumbling legacy into the modern era of reason and science. It's a story of how I escaped the prison of archaic superstition to the freedom of enlightenment. It is the story of how a rose can blossom from even the bloodiest soil, of how light can grow from shadow, how love can grow from despair. This, dear reader, is a story of my resurrection. So it is 1828, Edinburgh, Scotland. 1828, Edinburgh, Scotland. Get that out eventually. Anyway, so got that one again on the $7.99 sale, which is really great because it's hardback. And the other one that I managed to pick up is The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim, because she also has a new one coming out called Mocha, and I want that one. Okay. So again, you know, like a lot of these weird, kind of off the hook, strange, what do you call it? Artvark likes to pick them up. So I'm kind of hoping, fingers crossed. If not, I will just wait. I always will just wait because they'll come up on Book Outlet eventually. So, and that's what The Eyes Are the Best Part. And this is Crying in H Mart meets My Sister, the Serial Killer, in this feminist psychological horror about the making of a serial killer from a Korean American perspective. So, fun. Wow. And like creepy. Yeah, very creepy. But even the cover on her new one is kind of creepy too. Yeah. Okay, and then from Amazon on pre-order, I picked up No One Is Safe by Ellie Marney. This is her new series. None Shall Sleep is the other series of hers that I'm reading. Absolutely freaking loves it. And this one is also talking about somebody back in, like, this is based in 1982. So her FBI series is also early 80s. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Because, you know, no cell phones, no, like nothing, none of that. And it's just pure investigation stuff and thriller and serial killers on it. Yeah, it's like, oop. It was super, super, super good. So this is, he has skills to die for. Simon Noon is a serial killer, but he doesn't know it. Pulled from a river in Guatemala in 1982 with nothing, not even his memories, he returns to America 5 years later looking for answers. He finds work at an NYC meatpacking plant and meets rebel ex-cop turned private investigate Nomi Pace. But she has problems all her own. So, yes, fabulous. Looking forward to that one. And then I got the latest Finlay Donovan. Had that one on pre-order, so I did get this. Although I made a mistake and I pre-ordered the hardback. Don't know why, but I think it's about the same size. I haven't looked, but I think it's about the same size as the paperback. I actually really like the hardback. It's really cute. Yeah. So, I don't know. I may still get the paperback. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, of that one. If the paperback comes up on Book Outlet, I'll grab it. So those are kind of all the books that are on the smaller side that I grabbed. So now we're going to talk about some of the larger ones that I have here. So The Secret Lives of Murderers' Wives. I picked this one up because Book of the Month did have it, but only in the US. It was not offered here in Canada because apparently there are licensing problems with certain books in Canada. So I think there were 2 books that were offered in the March selections that we didn't have here. And this was one of them. And I really wanted this one. And I'm actually kind of glad I didn't get it because I love this format. Like this super floppy format with the deckled edges. Love reading this format of book. Yeah, so good. And so this is about a trio of wives of convicted killers, and they set out to solve a killing. So that's this one. Yeah, can't wait to read that one for sure. And then these ones are all from Book of the Month, all from sale, except the bottom. Well, the bottom one is a sale too, but it's a little bit different. So we have The Locked Ward by Sarah Pekkanen. Okay, never read anything from her. So book outlet sale, perfect opportunity to get something. And then The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. I have picked up a few back publications from Ashley Winstead because I liked her writing in This Book Will Bury Me. My problem with that particular book was I didn't like the main character very much, so it kind of ruined the book for me, and I hated the ending, the very end of it. I hated that. But that had nothing really to do with how she wrote, so I wanted to read more of her books. So this one was available on Book Outlet, so I grabbed it. The other one I have from her, The Midnight Hour, I think, and I had grabbed that on Book Outlet too. So I'm hoping to get to one of the two of them. So, yeah. And then I picked up Heartwood by Amity Gage, and I can't remember what this one was about. Search and rescue team races against time when an experienced hiker mysteriously disappears in this gripping and suspenseful novel by Amity Gage. So, yeah, that one. I loved the sound of it. So, I think it had ghosts in it. Ghosts in the forest. Could you get any creepier? I don't think so. Okay, and then I picked up two. Now, these would be considered cozy. Okay, they're both by Mary Kay Andrews, and they both are widowed women, and they get themselves into situation. This one, she is a house flipper, and they find a dead person in a house she's supposed to redo. And then in this one, her husband owned a hotel. He passed away, and she had to take over the hotel, and she's fighting the brother-in-law, and because he's a jerk, and then somebody ends up dead. So kind of cozy mysteries, both of them. Yeah, this one here is probably one of the few instances from Book Outlet where I don't know if you can see the whole back of the book is dirty. Yeah, it's filthy, and sometimes that happens. And unfortunately, the hardback is not attractive, so at least the front's not all that dirty. I said. So, but anyway, and this one's pristine. So most of the books I get from Book Outlet are pristine. Every now and again you get one that is damaged a little bit. And then the last one I really wanted to talk about that I got from Book Outlet is The End of the World as We Know It. This is New Tales of Stephen King's The Stand by other authors. Okay, so these would be other horror genre authors, and so they're all on the back. They have them listed on the back, but some of the ones that I've read from would be S.A. Cosby, Meg Gardner. I know Stephen Graham Jones is on this list, and Wayne Brady and Morris Broaddus, Chuck Wendig. Who else is on here? Yeah, the Josh Mallerman. So there's a whole bunch. So there are a ton. Now, what happened was I watched a video by Kayla on Books and Lala, and she did this thing with this book where she read these and then she tried to guess who wrote the story based on so she tried to match stories to the authors. It was like the funniest video I've ever seen. Greatest been, but that was what sparked my interest. And when this came up on Book Out, because this is like a $60 hardback. I'm not paying $60 for anything. Special edition. No, I wouldn't even pay that for a special edition. Anyway, when it came, $7.99. I got it for. And I was like, okay, because I'm not a huge short story, but I don't mind thriller, horror short stories. I just don't like romance short stories at all. Okay. But when it comes to like on the thriller side of things, I don't mind it, a short story. something quick and snappy. So I thought that might be fun to read, and I loved what she did with it. I would never even try because I would have no clue because I haven't read even like maybe 3/4 of those authors I haven't read from. So that's it for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the books that I picked up from Book of the Month and Artvark. And we got a lot to talk about for both of them. So I think what we'll do is we will do Artvark first. So I have my phone open because I am just going to just quickly mention the books that I got in December and January, except for a couple. And then, and I'll just put the book covers up for you because I put them all away already. Just didn't even think about it. Don't know why I did that. I don't normally do that. I usually leave them off to the side because I know I'll do a book haul in 3 months, but I put them all away. Same thing with Book of the Month. We'll do the same thing. So for December, I managed to grab Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon by Matthew Norman. So I picked that up for Christmas next year. So obviously I'm not going to read it now, but that was the reason that I picked that one up. Victorian Psycho by Virginia Fado. So I did get that one. And Who Wants to Live Forever by Hannah Thomas Oweo. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. So there were those 3, okay? And I think Who Wants to Live Forever, kind of like sci-fi, speculative fiction type thing. And obviously, first one's a romance. Second one is like supposed to be a horror. Okay, so I thought those were the 3. Then in January, I picked up 2 regular ones, which was It Should Have Been You by Andrea Mara and An Arcane Inheritance by Camilla Cole. So that one was fantasy. Okay, fantasy romance. So there's those 2. And then I picked up this one, which is the special edition of Buffalo Hunter. Now, obviously, I have it. I had it and I read it, and it was an amazing read. You know, I did annotate it a little bit. So this was the original. But then they had this special edition that came out with his signature, okay, in it. And I just loved the addition of it. Now, when I got it, the slipcover was damaged. It's the only book I've ever gotten from them that was damaged. Even this there is a little tiny bit of damage on this top corner. Every time, my shipments from Artvark take a long time to get here. I don't know why it is, but it ships from Texas and I don't get it. Like this last one I got on the 18th of March. So it takes a really long time for me to get my shipments from Artvark. And they're always, the boxes are always slightly damaged, always. But this one was really damaged. And unfortunately it was the bottom of the box, bottom corner, and this book was on the bottom corner. However, I didn't need the slip case because I have it on the original. So I love the cover of this book, but I had it already. And so I wanted this for the spine and for the outside of it and for the signature on the inside. That was what I wanted this book for. So in essence, I have these now together on the shelf up there. And yeah, so it worked out because I didn't really need the slipcase. I actually just threw it away because I didn't really need it because I have it already. And it's in perfect condition, so didn't need it. Okay? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about what I got in February and in March. That falls under the thriller category. Okay, let me move my phone out of the way. So for February, I only got 1 book, and that was this one, Adrift by Will Dean. Wasn't crazy about the rest of their selections. None of them really kind of called to me at all. So this was the one I picked up, and this is a thriller, and It says, surface might appear calm, but a storm is brewing below. So this is about husband and wife and their son, and they're out on a houseboat on a river, and the husband is losing his marbles. That's what this one's about. So I can't wait to read that one. Never read anything by Will Dean, but definitely looking forward to that. Then just in March, I did have a full box of 3, but one is a fantasy, so that'll go in the fantasy category. And then I had these 2. So the first one is Whidbey by T. Kira Madden, and this is a book about 3 women that are affected by a dangerous man and revenge, and he ends up being unalived and all that stuff. So I do think I think while it is a feminist women's fiction story and a story about survival in these women, it's also a bit of a thriller. So, and that's kind of the feeling that I got from it, just from reading the synopsis. So we'll see. You know, I'm hopeful that I like it. And then the last one is Nowhere Burning by Catriona Ward. And I've heard quite a lot of things about her and her writing, and never tried anything by her. So I thought I would give this one a go. From Artvark. It is Nowhere Burning. It's a harrowing tale of survival that places the dark fairy tale of Peter Pan and ruthless dangers of Lord of the Flies into the unforgiving maw of the Colorado Rockies. So it's about like a brother and sister, and they're running away from violence, and they run into violence. So, yeah. So we will see where that goes. So that's it for Artvark. So now what I think we're going to do is we're going to do Book of the Month. Okay, so I thought what I did was I just took some quick screenshots of the months past, starting with December for Book of the Month. I had, my boxes were fairly full, a lot of good stuff in there. I'm just going to quickly cover what I bought in it. And in my fantasy video, I'm not even going to go over any of this stuff. So I am going to include my fantasy selections in here. They're just going to go up on the screen. Okay. So for December, I picked up We Who Will Die, which is fantasy, romantasy. The Rebel and the Rose, which is the second book in a series. I think it's right here. It is right there. So I grabbed that one. Dark Sisters, which is a like sinister horror thriller. Better Offer Wins. That's a thriller. That's like obsessed woman who wants to buy a house, and she like goes a bit loco. So those were the 4 that I picked up for December 25th. Then we have, is it January? Yes, January. So I have a few. One of them I've left in the pile here for a reason. So I won't mention that one until I come to it. But Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston is one. Rings of Fate by Melissa Dela Cruz, which also is up here too. So that one's there. Last Time I Saw Him by Laura Dave. That's here as well. Okay. Most Eligible by Isabel Engel. That is a romance. I don't think it's in the romance pile, but that was one I picked up. And then the last one is we're going to talk about, which is over in my piles over here. And then, of course, we have February and March. Okay, so that's it for those. Now we're going to talk about the physical books I have sitting here. So first, I did pick up My Husband's Wife, but then I also managed to pick up, I think in the next month, Rock, Paper, Scissors, because I have heard this is good. I'm not sure about this, and I didn't like Beautiful Ugly. but I don't know that it was Alice Feeney's writing per se. I just didn't like any of the characters in Beautiful Ugly. It was like I just disliked them so much. That kind of ruined the story for me. So that's why I was like, well, let me give it a try. And I thought I'd give it a try with one of her older books, one of her newer books, and go from there and see what we get on that. Right? Yes. So I think everybody knows the newer one, but yeah. So I thought that I would try it that way and see how I feel about it. Okay, so then I also picked up the newest book from Mary Kubica, which is It's Not Her. And this is a stunning discovery, a shocking investigation, a truth no one could have imagined. This is about a family vacation that goes wrong, okay, on a lake. And it just sounds, sounds really, really good. So there's that one, thriller. And then we have The Exes by Leodora Darlington. Love brings out the villain in all of us. So this is a woman who, an explosive debut thriller packed with twists and jaw-dropping finale, as well as a moving look at the truths we choose not to see, especially about ourselves. So Natalie has only ever wanted to find the one, the perfect man, the happy family she never had. Now that she's found James, she's careful to keep him. He's different from all the men she's loved before. Calm, competent, kind. And there are 3 very good reasons she needs to be so careful. Their names are Mark, Luca, and George. Natalie prefers not to talk about what happened to her ex-boyfriends. It might just get her in trouble. Instead, she needs to focus on the future, on building a family with James to replace the one she's lost. But the harder Natalie tries to be a normal wife, the more upending truths are brought to her door by people who seem to want to take her back to her darkest moments. She's left unsure of who she really is, what she's done, and what she'll do next until shocking betrayal brings her to a crossroads. Can she and James survive this marriage, and does either of them deserve to? So, yeah. Definitely a marriage in trouble. And then I got How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shelley Thompson. And from the time that I first read this one, when I was doing my monthly releases, because I always do, a huge release group for every month that's coming up. As soon as I read this one, I wanted it, like right away. I wanted it. So it didn't take me long that as soon as Book of the Month had it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on that. Okay. And this is basically a woman goes to like one of those speed dating things. Okay. And the guy she's sitting across from ends up dead. And so then she has to use all of her knowledge about horror movies and that kind of thing to try to survive this speed dating. Yeah. Okay. Like, I really want to read that one. I know I want to read all of these, but that one sounds so great. And then the most recent, oh no, let me do this one first. This is the new Taylor Adams one. So, I picked up No Exit, which is an older Taylor Adams one. And then I picked up the new one, which is Her Last Breath. Now, I'm going to be honest in that this one really creeped me out when I was reading it because, like, I'm a little bit claustrophobic. A little bit. Like, I know when they put me in the MRI machines, they have to put me in the wide body machines because, especially if I'm not going in head first, no big deal. But if you're putting me in head first, man, you got to give me some room around me. And when they're locking you in, when they're doing a head scan, if you've never done an MRI and you're going in to have the brain or neck or any area like from the chest up, they put you in head first. They lock this thing over your face, okay? And you can't move at all. Shades of that. Because it is creepy and you're in there minimum half an hour. I think it was half an hour, 45 minutes. And I had to do that twice. So I wouldn't wish that on anybody. especially anyone who is slightly claustrophobic. They can put you out for it, but like if they put you out for it, then it's this whole process. You got to have somebody pick you up. It's like pain in the neck. Okay, so I did that without them putting me out for it. That was rough. Anyway, okay, enough about me. Last one. This is the most recent thriller that I picked up from Book of the Month, which is This Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum. And this is about two, it says, best friends, Benny and Joy, likes to say they've been saving each other's lives since the moment they met until the day Joy disappears and Benny is suspected of murder. So they're podcasters. Okay, and I loved that element of it because obviously I do the YouTube thing. So, you know, relate a little bit, but yeah, so I really wanted to read that one. So that's it for all of my thrillers. I'm not even going to count, okay? But that's 4 months worth of books, and I would say the majority of them were super cheap. So, but you know what? I don't apologize for how I spend my money. I work hard for it. Okay, so I can, and that's just my one enjoyment besides my coffee that I really love. So, yeah. All right, so that's it for this part of the video. So we're going to have a second part coming up at some point in the next week or two. That's going to have all of the romance. Like I said, romance, regular fantasy, fantasy romance, everything like that is going to be in that batch. And I think it is a slightly smaller batch. Maybe. And this, yeah, a lot of thrillers. Yeah, love my thrillers. Okay, that's it for me for this one. And we'll see you in the next video.